Next group of hopefuls that at least trying to have their chance, but they don't really have one, unfortunately. A small chance is still a chance, though. It's kind of like the Dumb and Dumber category. So you're saying there's a chance. It's sad, but here we are. Number 16 is Bill de Blasio, who actually is going up. He's up to 29.3. De Blasio is the least popular Democrat in the field, according to polls, but his complete lack of shame allows him to shine in a debate format. In round 2, expect Bill to attack Biden head on and look for the viral moment that could rocket him to a solid 1 or 2% in the polls. Number 15 is holding on to an enormously powerful 0 to 1% in the polls. He is John Delaney at a 29.5. Now, the power ranking likes Delaney a lot more than the voters seem to like him. I can't really explain that one yet, but he continues to pour his own money into the race. At some point, though, you have to believe that somebody in his life is going to stop him from setting his cash on fire. He did steal a key advisor from Marianne Williamson's campaign, which does not seem like a path to success. Number 14 in the power rankings has a plan or policy for basically everything. You want to know how to properly wax your cat and get it regulated? Well, you can with entrepreneur Andrew Yang at a nicely even 30. Before the campaign started, if you would have said Yang would be in the middle of the pack at this point, he probably would have been happy with that result. His embrace of quirky issues like banning robocalls, giving everyone free cash, and spending $6 billion to fix the nation's malls, I guess that is enough to keep him in the news. His fundraising was okay, and he remains an interesting and thoughtful guy, but Yang has a better chance of dropping out and running on a third-party ticket than winning in this Democratic Party. You do have to wonder how long it will be before the word math moves from a campaign slogan to the reason he needs to drop out. Coming in at an unlucky number 13 is Washington Governor Jay Inslee, a 31.4 out of 100. Now, Inslee is sort of like a musical artist that isn't successful himself, but, kind of seems to be liked by a bunch of bands that are actually successful. Inslee I kind of expect him to capture the King, Czar, Chancellor role of the new climate police or whatever draconian nightmare the actual Democratic nominee creates if they win. In the meantime, he should try to avoid a bunch of cringe-inducing desperation, which he's been up to lately. The race between 12 and 11 is neck and neck, but settling in at the number 12 spot is Tulsi Gabbard. She's at a 33.4, and that's up from a 28.8. Gabbard really wants to be Joe Biden's vice president, really bad, or at least she wants to hold an important role in the cabinet like Secretary of Defense. Gabbard has been running interference for Biden, aggressively going after Kamala Harris for her very successful but substance-free busing attack, while hammering Harris as not qualified to be president. These have been among the harshest criticisms levied by any candidate in the race so far, and there's definitely a purpose to it. The presence of Harris and Biden and Gabbard in the same debate is something that Harris definitely needs to prepare herself for. Along with Yang, Gabbard remains one of the most interesting Democratic candidates to Republicans and Libertarians, which is not at all helpful to her chances of actually winning the Democratic Party nod. And nudging out Tulsi, just up by one slot at number 11, Tom Steyer, 33.5. Now, Tom Steyer, this is his debut on the countdown. Tom Steyer is a Democratic billionaire that has spent millions of his own money plastering his face all over MSNBC for the past couple of years, begging people to consider impeaching Donald Trump. The campaign power ranking loves Steyer's potential because he's got unlimited money and theoretical ability to put together a serious campaign team. But as this is all kind of theory at this point, as millions and millions he's spent so far has led to a giant pile of zilch. If he's serious enough, he should be able to buy his way into the low single digits and squeak into into a debate or two. It's hard to see it, though. I mean, Steyer's billionaire status isn't an obvious fit of this party because this is the party of inequality, right? As they're trying to take down another billionaire. I guess that would be equal. They finally have equality that they wanted. But Steyer does have legitimate movement credibility. He has tons of cash to buy support and a long-developed immunity to embarrassment. So the sky might be the limit. Before we move on to the top 10, it's what we've all been waiting for, of course. I thought it would be the right thing to do, to take a moment and pause and mourn a previous member of the list that we lost, the campaign of Eric Swalwell.